Assalamu alaikum aspirants. Hope you are all in good health. So our today's topic of current affairs is international security. कि करंटली इंटरनेशनली सिक्योरिटी के क्या चैलेंजेस हैं, ठीक है, क्या इन्फ्लुएंस है और जियो पोलिटिकली इसके क्या इम्पेक्ट हो रहे हैं, इकोनॉमिकली क्या इम्पेक्ट हो रहे हैं और सोशल फैक्टर्स किस तरह से डिस्टर्ब हो रहे हैं इंटरनेशनल सिक्योरिटी की वजह से. So, the current state of international security is complex and multifaceted, influenced by various geopolitical, economic, and social factors. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल डिस्कस जियोपॉलिटिकल टेंशंस. सो बहुत ज़्यादा इस तरह की कंट्रीज़ हैं जो आपस के अंदर क्या उनका तनाव चल रहा है और जो प्रोक्सी वॉर्स भी चल रही हैं. सो हम देखते हैं कि किस तरह से. फर्स्ट वन इज़ यूएस चाइना रिलेशंस. यूएस और चाइना, एज़ यू नो कि यूएस भी जो है वो एक सुपर पावर है और चाइना भी अब एक सुपर पावर है. सो इन दोनों की आपस में नहीं बन रही क्योंकि यूएस चाहता है कि मैं सुपर पावर था, मैं ही रहूं, तो कोई मेरे सामने क्यों आ रहा है, और चाइना जो है वो कम्पीट कर रहा है अब यूएसए को. सो इनके दरमियान इस बात पे टेंशन है. टेंशन बिटवीन द यूएस एंड चाइना हैज़ एस्केलेटेड particularly regarding trade, technology, and military presence in the South China Sea. Both countries are engaged in a strategic competition that affects global security dynamics. ये डिटेल से पीछे हम करंट अफेयर्स में ये डिस्कस कर चुके हैं कि साउथ चाइना सी का क्या इशू है, क्या कन्फ्लिक्ट है दोनों कंट्रीज़ के दरमियान, हम इसे किस तरह से रिजोल्व कर सकते हैं ग्लोबली और इसके क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हैं. ओके. Secondly, Russia and NATO. The ongoing conflict is Ukraine has strained relations between Russia and NATO countries. Russia's military have led to increased defense spending and military readiness among NATO allies, raising concerns about a broader conflict in Europe. Then, secondly, इंटरनेशनल सिक्योरिटी किस चीज़ की है? टेररिज्म एंड एक्सट्रीमिज़म. बहुत ज़्यादा कंट्रीज़ में टेररिज्म इस वक्त अपने अरूज पे है. एक्सट्रीमिस्ट जो हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा आजकल मोशन में हैं. सो डिस्पाइट सिग्निफिकेंट टेरिटोरियल लॉसेस, groups like ISIS and Al Qaeda continue to pose threats through insurgencies and terrorist attacks. The focus has shifted towards countering radicalization and addressing the underlying conditions that foster extremism. थर्डली, साइबर सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट्स. एज़ यू नो कि ये अब टेक्नोलॉजी का दौर आ चुका है. सो जहाँ पे सब कुछ शिफ्ट हो रहा है, पेपर से डिजिटल के अंदर शिफ्ट हो रहा है सब कुछ, तो वहीं पे ही फिर साइबर सिक्योरिटी का ख़तरा भी बढ़ता जा रहा है कि कहीं कोई चीज़ लीक ना हो जाए नेशनली, इंटरनेशनली, इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे. सो ये जो है ये भी एक बड़ा जो है ये क्या है, इंटरनेशनल सिक्योरिटी है इस चीज़ की. सो द साइबर वारफेयर हैज़ बिकम अ क्रिटिकल कंपोनेंट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल security. State sponsored cyber attacks targeting infrastructure, government institutions, and private sectors have increased, leading to the goods for stronger international norms and also cooperation in cyberspace. Fourthly, nuclear proliferation. Countries like North Korea and Iran remains at the forefront of nuclear proliferation concerns. Diplomatic efforts to denuclearize these nations have faced challenges, leadingly ongoing tensions and risk of nuclear escalation. Climate change and security. ये किस तरह से इफ़ेक्ट हो रहा है? इट इज़ इंक्रीजिंगली रिकग्नाइज्ड एज अ सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू रिसोर्स scarcity, displacement of populations, and conflict over water and land. So, countries which are beginning to integrate climate considerations into their security policies. Then, global health security. The COVID 19 pandemic has highlighted the importance of global health security. The interconnectedness of nations means that health crises can have widespread implications for stability and security. And the second last point is regional conflicts. Various regional conflicts, such as those in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, continue to challenge international security. Issues like sectarian violence, ethnic tensions, and resource competition contribute the instability. ये सारे reasons हैं जिसकी वजह से instability आती है. Last but not the least, क्योंकि इसके साथ हम एक टॉपिक और करेंगे इंशाल्लाह. So, eighth one is international cooperation. Organizations like United Nations and regional bodies are working to address these security challenges through diplomacy, peacekeeping missions, and conflict resolution initiatives. Moreover, the effectiveness of these efforts can be hampered by political divisions among member states. The international security is shaped by a multitude of factors, including geopolitical rivalries, terrorism, cyber threats, nuclear proliferation, climate change, global health, and regional conflicts. Addressing these challenges requires coordinated efforts and cooperation among nations to promote stability and peace. इसके साथ एक और टॉपिक है इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी कि ये करंट अफेयर्स के अंदर जो है किस तरह इफेक्ट हो रही है. फर्स्ट वन वी विल डिस्कस द ग्लोबल ट्रेड डायनामिक, that how the trade is affected by international political economy. Trade relationships have been impacted by tensions between major economies, particularly the US and China. Tariffs, trade agreements, and supply chain disruptions have altered traditional trade patterns. The shift towards regional trade agreement like the RCEP in Asia reflects more to strengthen economic ties within specific area. Then economic recovery post pandemic. Countries are focusing on recovery from the economic impact of COVID-19. So the stimulus packages, infrastructure investment, and policies which aimed at boosting employment are being implemented. However, recovery is uneven across regions, with developed countries generally faring better than developing the this one. Then inflation and monetary policy. So many economics are experiencing rising inflation rates due to supply chain issues, increased demand, and energy price fluctuations. Central banks are adjusting monetary policies, with some considering interest rate hikes to combat inflation, which can have global implications for investment and borrowing. Sustainability and green economy. This is a growing emphasis on a sustainable development and green economy. Countries are also investing in renewable energy and sustainable agriculture and technologies to combat climate change. International agreements like the Paris Accord influence national policies and economic strategies. Fifthly, digital economy and technology. So, the rise of digital economy is reshaping global markets. E-commerce, fintech, and digital currencies are becoming increasingly important. However, this also raises issues regarding data privacy, cybersecurity, and the need for regulation. So, sixthly, geopolitical risks and economic sanction. Geopolitical tensions such as those involving Russia, North Korea, and Iran led to economic sanctions that affect global market. These countries can disrupt trade flows and also impact energy prices, creating volatility into the international political economy. Lastly, global inequality. Economic disparities between and within countries are becoming more pronounced. Issues like wealth inequality occurs these and also affect the education and healthcare, which are central to the discussion on sustainable development and global stability. In our next video we will discuss the topic grant human rights and also the environment. Till that, take care. Allah Hafiz. If you have any query, you can ask in comment section, and if you are new at my channel, then subscribe it and also share with your friends. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.